We want to get to our guest right away this morning. Joining me is forensic psychiatrist and body language expert, Dr. Carol Lieberman. Ladies, thank you so much for joining me this hour. Dr. Lieberman, I do want to start with you first. So we were watching there, Tracy, as the audio was playing of her talking to her son, RF. We have to go by the initials RF. We weren't able to say his name here. What can you tell us about Tracy's body language there and what she may have been thinking or in what was in her mind when she was hearing that audio being played?
Well, you know, she has had pretty much the same body language throughout the trial, which really is very stiff. The only thing that moves, for the most part, is her eyes, her blinking. And that is a sign of stress, anxiety. She has this expression on her face when she was listening to the tape of, you know, kind of like, this isn't bad, I didn't do anything bad, you know, sort of protecting herself. You know, what she makes me think of is a cartoon, a caricature in a sense, of a cat. You know, when a cat, there are cartoons where a cat puts his paw in a socket in the wall and his fur, you know, just jumps out his very in an angular kind of way. That's what she reminds me of. I think that she's, you know, her defense would be, could be, my husband made me do it, you know, to blame him. But I'm not sure she's going to do that, because I'm suspicious of maybe her being treated badly by her husband, just like her son was.
That is interesting. And Dr. Lieberman, throughout the trial of Tim Ferriter, we did see Tracy, the loving, supporting wife. She broke down into tears after Tim Ferriter was found guilty. They had their priest sitting there next to them throughout this entire trial. Now she's in a situation where it's her turn. What do you think is going through her mind? The time she was there sitting next to seeing her husband, maybe she wasn't prepared for it. Maybe she thought in her mind, or was hopeful, of course, that he was going to be found not guilty. That did not happen. Now she's in the similar situation going forward.
Yes, I think she was shocked, actually, about her husband being found guilty and then his sentence, although, of course, the sentence could have been a lot worse. But that kind of made it more real to her when he was found guilty, when he was sentenced and so on. And it's like, uh-oh, you know, now it's my turn. She has a lot of fear, that she's radiating fear. And, you know, it could be fear of her, of course, her sentence, her being found guilty, and it could be fear of her husband. So, you know, she's sort of paralyzed with fear is what she shows to me.
Dr. Lieberman, what are you seeing from that? I mean, just from listening to it, it seems as if RF is just acting out because he is locked in this structure. And again, I realize that there were a lot of challenges they had with RF, and a lot of that information did not get into court. So what are you seeing from Tracy as she is sitting there watching, listening to that audio?
Yes, yes, his reactive attachment disorder really, you know, it's unfortunate for them, or for at least him, that didn't get into court more, and it wasn't explained well. But in any case, in playing that, she looked like she was, you know, of course they've heard this a million times before, but she looked like she was affected by it, whereas Tim looked like, you know, they could have been playing the Star-Spangled Banner. You know, he was just like in another world, like, oh, here we go again. It's so presumably she cared more about the son than Tim did, but still, she went along with all of that. And the thing is, you know, if she were to, going back to, if she were to throw Tim under the bus and say, my husband made me do it and so on, when she got out, or when he got out, you know, that could be very dangerous for her.
That definitely. How can they reconcile if that is her strategy at trial? Unless, of course, he's like, well, I know you did what you had to do, because their bond does seem very strong. We'll have to wait and see. Ladies, thank you so much.